just got these belts working the other day.
They fucking got some mold on them and shit.
Yeah, they sure do.
Good. I like mold.
How's this thing going?
Fucking awesome, dude.
Nice.
You know? You know what I'm saying? Riding along like this thing rides. This thing rides along the road, dude.
Doesn't it?
God, you thought those fucking Crown Vics were smooth. This thing's smooth as fuck. Are these like old ass shocks and shit?
We have not touched the suspension.
Are you serious?
We haven't even tuned the motor in this car yet.
What?
And I mean, I was cruising around earlier today when I ran up to Metro Beach, and I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, Eric, what have you been doing to this thing? He's like, nothing.
Nothing. What? So you bought it and it just sounds like that?
It just sounds and runs like this. Again, after we did the fuel system and the brake system and, you know, everything else under the sun,
right.
put a
And
new
then the motor
ignition
was
system.
just ready to rip.
Yes. That's just touching the throttle.
Right.
Oh, man. What a good feeling.
Jesus, what a car.
Couldn't ask for a better birthday present for myself, you know?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Cruising the D in the Bluesmobile.
Yeah, dude, this thing's the tits, man. I like the blue and everything. A little baby blue on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys haven't even, like, washed it much.
I know. I
like,
wiped it
you guys
down,
didn't
you know,
even
and-
fucking do any washing, hardly.
No,
It's
Eric,
got, like, all the shit on it, you know,
yeah,
still.
Yeah. Eric was, you know, wise enough to put this seat cover on it because, you know, fucking animals been living in here, you know?
Yeah.
It's, it's got leftover...
Original seats?
Yes, I mean, it's got leftover remains of where the animals had been, you know, using it for a nest.
And like, it's a good thing that, like, the fuel system and all that went on it, because that's what kept the engine good.
Actually, yes. You know, it's funny to think of. One of the things Eric said was that the reason, you know, because this car hadn't been screwed, like, you just couldn't drive it.
Right.
It had no fuel tank. It had no anything.
Right,
it was just,
it just was a pod of keeping the engine safe.
You could move it like, you know, 5-10 miles an hour with a can of gas.
Yeah, and
that's
how
it.
annoying.
So nobody had a chance to screw with this car.
Right.
Because no one has been able to make it run for 20 years.
Right,
Maybe
so it
30 now.
just sat there.
I found paperwork in it from 1997. That may be the last.
So where was it actually physically sitting?
In Montana.
In what?
In a salvage yard, in a wrecking yard.
In a yard.
In a yard.
Getting sun.
Yes. And we believe it had been there for 20 years. The fella that rescued this car from Seattle, you know, took it back to Seattle, and he just kept it at his farm. You know, been sitting there for another 5-6 years out at the farm. Now, he did get it to run. You know, that was a big step forward for saving this car. But in the time that we had it, you know, we got their new YouTube videos up about it.
God, it sounds great.
And again, it's just, I cannot...
The low tones on that is so killer.
That is what our neighbor Mike was saying. Mike is an old school Mopar drag racer from the 70s. He's like, what kind of cam are you guys running in that thing? And I'm like, this is a stock Police 440. He's like, get out. They put cams with that kind of lift in these cars. I said, Mike, these cars have 70 more horsepower than the standard 440 civilian cars. Like, yes, I think they did put cams.
Yeah, like they weren't fucking around.
Yes. and you feel it. You know, just
right,
around.
Just hitting the gas a little.
Yeah.
It's just responsive.
It is. And you know, again, we haven't even put spark plugs in it. We barely, you know, I don't.
Jesus Christ!
I mean,
wow!
It was so ready to run. I just did an oil change before I came to see you. So I just wanted to make sure, you know, because the oil in it was obviously very old. Now it had a newer filter on it, fortunately.
Right.
So somebody, you know, again, just in the time that people had been using it, trying to figure out what to do with it, some people had thrown some maintenance at it.
Right.
But this car has not had regular maintenance done to it in over 20 years. And you jump in it, and it's like, this thing drives better than my Coronet.
Right.
It drives.
Yeah.
It drives better than Max.
It rides like a fucking dynamite.
Yes. I mean, it's just...
It floats better than those Crown Vics because there's so much to it.
What a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we paid so much more money for
Never sell this.
that's what Eric said. It's like, we hit the jackpot with this car.
Never sell this.
I mean, we can't wait to start using this thing as our company taxi. That's why I'm selling the Brougham. You know, we got the twin sister of this car, the luxury version. It's like,
Yeah.
why keep that car around when this car rides just as nice?
Yeah, yeah. Which color is that? That maroon one
the
or gold one?
Yeah, the gold one.
And why sell that one?
Well, no, yeah, why not sell it? Because this car does everything that does, the ride, the comfort. I mean, yeah, it's not as nice to look at, but we're
But couldn't you pilfer parts off of that one?
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you just rather perceive the value or preserve the value.
I'm having the seats refinished right now. So Kevin.
But that one's pretty close to mint. Like that's pretty goddamn nice.
40,000 original miles, 100,000 less than this car.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do this.
Right.
Like no way.
No.
That's just giving it a little goose.
Right. It doesn't get down.
You know, Eric and I, when we first started testing this car last season, I mean, he put his foot in it, and we just laid rubber strips for 50 feet.
God.
Just from a standstill. And that's before we've even rebuilt the carburetor. This car is exactly the way it was when you saw it last time.
Yeah, yeah.
Except that now we have
it just has the fuel system and all that.
And it has the ignition in it so that I can start it like a real car.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, is it empty out here?
Oh yeah, everybody's all party pooped out. Except for this fuzz. He's gonna get a couple DUI patients here in a minute.
Yeah, looks like it.
Beeve went and golfed his best shit after being all frustrated because he couldn't do a boat day.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear about that.
He fixed the fuel pump. We took it out. It wouldn't start. We got towed back to the dock.
Yeah.
Then we went back out today, started up, but it wasn't like an easy start. He had to jackhammer the throttle like 3 different times, and then he got it. And then we let it run.
The light was yellow.
Yeah, it was. The schemats. Check the schemats.
Oh, man.
We let it run, so he's like, fuck it, let's go out for a little cruise like we did last time, but this time we won't shut it off. We'll warm up the boat. We'll cruise out there. He'll swim. We'll keep it running. We'll come back, tie it up to the dock, shut it off, and see if it turns back on.
Right.
Did that, came back to the dock, shut it off, turned back on, started up. We're like, cool, let's have a boat day. Let's go get some supplies from Kroger. Came back a half an hour later. No, nothing. No starting up. Just turning over and no grabbing any fuel. No chugging. Back to that again. So if it's a heat issue or something, I don't know what kind of components would be.
Vapor lock, huh?
Is that what it is? That's what you're thinking? That's what it sounds like?
Well, that's one of our customers with a 76 Coronet is bringing the car into us because that's his issue. Since if it runs long enough with that, I can't remember what engine you said it had.
Yeah, the 7.4 Mercruiser.
Okay, Mercruiser. Well, with the Chryslers, evidently, if they sit, run too long with too much heat, and they don't have adequate fuel pressure. Modern fuel now, I mean, it vaporizes so fast. Is there a fire going on?
There must be.
Must be fireworks. Anyway, so yeah, that's why he's coming to us. Him and Eric talked it over. They said, yeah, they need another electric fuel pump in series, in line with the system.
Yeah, to keep
adequate fuel pressure going. Just because the modern gas that he's putting in it, I filled up the boat fuel in this thing today. But the modern fuel,
how'd you do that?
I just went to Metro Beach.
Oh, okay.
And filled it.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Because it's cleaner?
Way cleaner. And, it burns slower. These old cars, were designed to run on pure gas. Last model before catalytic converters.
Right.
Put on regular gas.
Right.
These
doesn't run good on regular. Doesn't run good on new gas because new gas is not as hardy.
Right. Well, it's got more alcohol in it.
You're right.
So
it's poofier.
It burns really, really fast and does not like temperature change. And these cars are old school. They